Alright, so check this out. The other day I was sitting around listening to some music and I ended up coming up with this random idea. I thought, what if I were to take the best, like, three albums from a band, pick the best top 20 songs from those albums, and combine them to make a super album? So technically be the best album that band could have released. And that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to start with 3 Days Grace because that was the band that I was listening to when I came up with this idea. So we have all of 3 Days Grace's albums here. I don't know why Transit of Venus is weird like that. Forget about it. So first what we're going to do is we're going to rank these albums, and then we're going to go and pick the top 20 songs from those albums to create the best album. So first we're going to start with their self-titled album, which is called 3 Days Grace. That's easily S tier. I love the raw, gritty sound that album has. You could tell it's a first album. It sounds like a first album. It's everything you want it to be in a first album, and at no point does it fall short. So it's easily S tier. I love that album. I'm going to be a little biased, by the way. I love this band, so there's going to be probably a little biasm here. 1X, easily another S tier. Everyone probably saw that coming. That album, it's just, especially if you're somebody who's gone through a tough time, that album will really speak to you. It's so good. Every single song is so good. It's hard to really, you know, you can listen to the whole thing without skipping a song and be happy at the end. It's beautiful. Life Starts Now, another S tier. These first three albums are very similar. They're so good. You can listen, starting with Burn from this album, the first song on the first album, to Life Starts Now, the last song on the third album. Every single song is good. You don't have to skip a single song. It's just, they killed it with those albums. It was so good. And they've never really found their footing back to these first three. But yeah. Next we got Transit of Venus. This was the last album that had Adam as the lead singer. I'm going to put it at B. It's not as raw or as gritty. It sounds like it was made for the radio. It's very smooth. It's softer. It almost sounds like they didn't even want to make it, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean I'm like, trashing on it. There's some good songs on there. Chalk Outline is good. Misery Loves My Company. Happiness. I mean, those are some really good songs from that album. So it definitely deserves its flowers. It has some good songs. It's just not anywhere near these three. Next, we're going to go to Human. This is the first album that had Matt as the lead singer after Adam left. This also goes into B. This album could have been much better. There's two really good songs on this album, obviously, Painkiller and I Am Machine. The reason why this album is a little lower is because Matt was trying too much to be like Adam instead of just coming into his own skin, and that's really kind of why this album didn't really succeed as much for me personally as a personal listener. It's a good album though. It's definitely, none of 3 Days Grace's albums are below a B. They're all really good. Outsider definitely gets an A. I remember when this album came out. I remember when The Mountain came out and Infrared. Those two songs really spoke to me at the time. Still love them. It's a really good album. Matt finally came into his own, and he made it 3 Days Grace with Matt, and not 3 Days Grace with Matt trying to be Adam. It wasn't that he was trying to copy Adam. It was like the band was making music in the same way they made music when Adam was with the band, and it didn't work. So now finally with this album, Outsider, they were making music for Matt, and it ended up working out. Explosions. I really wanted to like this album. I still do. But with the way that they if you read up on it, they were like, oh, this album's going to be, it's feeling like you're angry, you want to explode at any moment. There's some songs that do that, but it really the only really good song on this album, really good, is So-Called Life. But I mean, every song is decent. I'm going to put it at B. I'm actually going to do it like this. I think Human is probably my least favorite album from them. But again, as you can see, it's still in B, low B. by no means makes it a bad album, just probably my least favorite. This is the best way you could rank the albums, I think, in my opinion, obviously. These are... Oh, sorry, actually. We should probably do this. Like that. That's probably the 1X, self-titled, Life Starts Now. Those are the... This is the best way to rank 3 Days... all of 3 Days Grace's albums. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the top 3, these 3 up here, and we're going to create a super album. So as you can see here, I have put down I got the track list for the first 3 albums. 3 Days Grace from 2003, 1X from 2006, and Life Starts Now from 2009. We're going to go through and we're going to pick 20 songs from these 3 albums. Because, like, trying to pick 12 is way too much. I might as well just pick 1X at that point. And then I thought about 15, only adding 3 extra. That's not going to help too much, so I decided to pick 20. So let's pick 20 songs from these 3 albums and create a super album. So starting with their self-titled album, I think these first 4 songs are a good starting point. These first 4 are really good. Burn, Just Like You, I Hate Everything About You, and Home, really good songs. 3 Days Grace, they do a really good thing. These first 3 albums are really good. They come out with a bang. Some albums you listen to and it's like they don't get to the really good songs you hear on the radio until like 7 or 8. These albums come out with a bang as soon as they start. So I think that's all we're going to put from the first album. 1X, it's going to be a little controversial. I'm pretty much probably I'm going to pick every song from 1X except for Over and Over. It's probably my least favorite song out of this list here. Not that doesn't mean that it's bad. I listen to it every time I listen to the album. It's just probably my least favorite. It doesn't hold up. The caliber doesn't hold up to it. It's good though. I don't mind the song. I just don't love it. And let me just talk about this here. I've heard a lot of people talk shit about this song. Whenever you hear somebody, it's like, oh, I love 1X except for the last song on the album, 1X. Let me just say something. You are musically deaf if you think this song is bad. Especially if you've been in that situation where you're down, whether it's through depression or anything, you're down, and you want that, like, I'm going to get back up and fight. This is the song you want to listen to help you. One of the millions of songs you can listen to help you do that. So this song is, I've been in that situation. I love this song. I don't want to hear any more hate about this song. It's really good. Life Starts. So right there, that's 11 plus 4, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we got 5 songs left. So we're going to pick 5 songs from Life Starts Now. Definitely off the rip, I think Break, World So Cold, and The Good Life are 3 immediately that we're going to do. So we got 2 left and quite a few songs to choose from. I'm definitely going to go with Someone Who Cares. This is just personal to me. It's super personal to me. This song really speaks to me. It almost feels like I wrote it. I love this song, especially, years ago. Such a good song. We could really pick almost any other song here. Last to Know is really good. Going Down, Boldy, Life Starts Now, really good. I'm going to go with Bitter Taste. Love it. Again, like I said, these first 3 albums, the first 4 or 5 songs from each album just comes out with a bang. First 6 for 1X, actually, they come out with a bang. And these first 3 albums, from Burn all the way to Life Starts Now, this is one solid experience all the way through. And you can listen to all these songs without skipping a single one and be happy at the end of it. I'm telling you, it's so good. So yeah, that's my list. Definitely, for sure. No doubt, this is my list. This is the top. This is the best out of all of 3 Days Grace's songs. These are the best 20 songs. If I had to make a perfect album, we're actually going to throw in 2 bonus tracks, just because I'm very upset with myself that I didn't add them because I couldn't, because I can only pick 20, and that is going to be Last to Know and Overrated. From Last to Know being from Life Starts Now, and Overrated being from 3 Days Grace. Those 2 songs are the bonus tracks, so technically 22 songs. So 20 these 20 songs with those 22, Last to Know and Overrated, the best songs they've ever made. If they came out with an album with those songs on it, it would be the best album that they could possibly make, at least with the music that they've already released. So that actually was way quicker than I thought. I thought I was going to be here for like an hour doing this. I don't know why I thought it was going to be way longer, but yeah, this is going to be something that I hope I'm going to have a lot of fun doing. I already have a couple other bands in mind of what I'm going to do. We're going to rank the albums, the top 3. We're going to take the top 3, the highest ranked, pick 20 songs, and rank them as a super album, best album that band could release. So this is just going to be something. This is something simple. Thought it'd be fun. Hopefully, everyone else likes it and has fun doing it alongside with me. So yeah, this is going to be fun.